guys? Zack Mars here, and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. So, we've got another class trial coming up, and it's for Chihiro, who died in a very mysterious and rather gruesome way. But I do think I have an idea of what's going down with this one. So, yeah, I think I know what I'm doing going in this time. So I think it'll go a little bit faster, because last time it took me 2-3 hours. It took 2.5 hours at least. In any case. So, is everyone to what? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... You don't know who your Toko is? You really? Yeah, you don't... Yeah, not remembering the name of your own student. That's kind of terrible. I mean, granted, Monokuma is a terrible person, but at the very least, you should know who the names are.
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okay, I'll go again and drag her out of here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like you said, a few minutes later, he appeared dragging Toko behind him. Nick, yeah. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. Can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible! You're terrible! Phew, now everybody's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get the show on the road. I'll see you guys down there. And off he goes.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm, so meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. Alright. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here.
Hey, come on.
Fucking Toko, man. What's got her so worked up? Toko, what's going on in that little head of yours? Okay, she's not gonna tell me. There's something odd about Toko's behavior. I don't think mere shock is enough to explain it. Right. I guess there wasn't much help at all on this one. Yeah. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. And... Miss Fujisaki, I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe. Well... I don't know why the killer did what they did, but... I'm sure it'll work itself out, just as always prevails, right, bro? And then there's...
Shall we go?
Yeah, let's just get everybody's thoughts first.
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual. You ready? We doing this? Okay, and elevator time. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I can feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop my speculating. So, what's going on then? The steel box sank with a heavy clunking sound deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. But finally... Ding! It came to a sudden stop. Alright, class trial time. What do you think? I've redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good. You're raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well?
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
Thrills!
Everyone,
chills,
please find your assigned receipts. So the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Yes, please. I want to save. I want to save. Okay, so... I didn't actually analyze my bullets this time. Open e-handbook. Alright, so I'm gonna go through my truth bullets and see if I know all the details of the case first. So Monokuma filed to the victim was okay. The time of death was arrested between 2 a.m. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the second floor of the school. The cause of death was blow to the head and with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. Sakura's accounts. Although Chihiro wanted to get stronger, she declined. Okay. We already know that she didn't want to go in the locker room. Locker room dumbbell. It has blood on it, so that's obviously the murder weapon. Monda's account. Chihiro told everyone willing to listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admires strength more than anything else. A card reader. To unlock this, you need to... Okay. You need a male student's handbook for the boys' locker room and a female student from the girls. It's not possible for two to enter the room at the same time. Additionally, lending someone your handbook is a violation of school regulations. The handbook of each student that has died is placed in the mailbox of the main hall. Alright, and then we got the broken one. One of the handbooks found in the main hall has been broken, which Junko and Sayaka's books seem to work, so it's assumed that the broken one, hand-loaded one, is Leon's. However, Monokuma claims it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have broken. Genocide Jack, we already know this was. Announced to do a mirror by wall, was found in crime scene profiling in case of serious split personality. Alright, so Ali's accounts seems to have constantly kept her distance from other girls, which is interesting. Boys' locker room carpet. There's a stain on the floor of the bar carpet. And then the posters are switched. Chihiro's year handbook. Not found on her corpse. Status of the dead body. And then there's no stain. We know there's a stain on the... We know what happened. Somebody got moved. It got moved. Library desk lamp. Night of the murder right before nighttime. Chihiro was spotted in the warehouse. It seems she was stuffing some exercise. Okay. Now that we have all of our... Okay, now that we've got all of our ducks in a row. Set skills. Now we got a lot more skill points this time around. Breathing technique. Can't equip that. The focus gauge recovers more quickly. Effective during non-stop debate and Hangman's Gammon at the bullet time. Vocabulary. Let's equip that. That will be helpful. What other skill points do we have? Oh, that's it. Okay, so we don't have enough to actually equip this. Alright. So, we don't have enough to... I think we're good. That's the only... We need to find a way to get more skill points. But in any case, class trial time.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Right.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
We all die. We've established this.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off...
Alright, first off...
Let's talk about the murder weapon!
Alright. First, we have to make it clear that what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Well, I know what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Locker room dumbbell. So we need to...
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Nothing contradictory there.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
That certainly would...
We know what we're doing.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
It appears it was a...
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt...
Instrument could it have...
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
Alright.
That certainly would make them.
Alright. I need to remember how to do the controls. Bullet time battle is...
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron.
No, it was not.
It's wrong.
Okay.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
Yep.
You looked at her head wound?
Yeah.
That's so creepy!
Well,
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
alright.
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Huh.
What? For real?
Yeah, we've been investigating that.
Hero's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Yeah, there's no... Well, seemingly. Genocide Jack, the famous serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to... Yes, please? If there's a new thing, I would like to know how they work. There's debate lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there is a way to keep the white noise from getting in your way. Press the A button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the white noise won't appear at all. In which case, you can forget about the silencer. Okay, so there's a silencer. Okay, so now it's time for white noise. Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Alright. Good job. Good job, Hifumi. Things show me but in the archive. We'll look at that and everyone will be convinced. Okay, so I need to make sure...
Culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it.
Alright, that's not what I wanted.
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
So don't hit the actual statements.
That's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no...
Alright, we got a case file, so here you go. Alright.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
It's a
I guess
Genocide
it's
Jack
some
case
kind
file.
of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
No clue. Apparently Hope Speak has some sort of
The
archive.
riot
We
bit
don't
is
know idea.
probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
Yeah.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail.
Mm-hmm.
According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
The way that they
Why
string
don't
her
you
up, right?
tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which so the world doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, has to do with the
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, The only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
So Genocide Jack has to be the only person who can
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
do it. Seems like, yeah.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we have established that she's been acting weird.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec.
You can't just, yeah, you can't just, you need proof for that.
Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember?
Hemophobia.
What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people. Yeah, we already know this. Dissociative Identity Disorder. Hangman's Gambit. That's not it. Okay.
Now I understand.
Is it?
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too.
Yeah.
They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative Identity Disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko has split personality has to do with her behavior. Her behavior changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
She was radically different. Fine, I'm fine. Oh, is that dead body? Hey, are you dead? Yeah. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. Yeah, it's quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Yeah, that makes a bit of sense. That's why she was uttering nonsense. I won't have to let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in.
It was to keep herself from getting out.
It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
Yeah.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation.
Interesting.
She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
That's hearsay. You can't use that in a court of law. You can't use that. You can't use that as evidence. That doesn't work.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
This is gonna get bad.
Besides,
she's gonna get
you
stabby.
broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
Alright, I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
Interesting.
That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
Except, okay, I don't think Agami's the most reliable person to be asking,
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
Person?
Yeah, now Genocide Jack coming out to play, isn't he?
Don't mean.
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed from across the courtroom, but in the next second... Uh-oh.
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Hi! You're creepy!
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
I like her.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
That's nobody says that, but okay. I like her so far, though.
So different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
I like her. She's nuts. This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Okay.
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If she's a split personality, then she can't just kind of run things behind the scenes whenever she wants.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
You've got a point there. They couldn't really catch her for the longest time because they had no proof.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
Alright.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
You got a point there.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh? Well?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get more details about all of this. Oh, another non-stop debate. All right. Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Alright, no, there's something off about the body. Okay, I just have to focus on Robert Chihiro's body. That must be the answer. That should prove what happened isn't quite right. Well, I noticed something.
I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident,
No, there's a thing here.
the modus operandi.
No, it's wrong.
Alright. There's something that is definitely different about it that I think about.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack case, look at the neck and stomach. The victim's fatal injury.
I got it!
Alright, got our health
One,
back.
the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
Yeah, that was something I noticed as well.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
So it's different, yeah.
Yes, that is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
I like how she's making food analogies. I love her to death.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference was relating how she was suspended. In this photo of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the active victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it!
Alright.
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Her scissors, but her scissors are not here.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else?
What else?
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Yeah, she's giving him a nickname. Fun.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
Alright, thank you for pointing it out to me. I wouldn't have noticed.
You really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Pattern.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There's a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of each victim, you notice is... I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro.
I got it!
Alright.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
There we go.
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all guys. Ken Harada, 32, Tetsuhiro Honda, okay. Kamatsuna, Tomofuni, Shinashiro, okay.
They
Yeah.
were all guys?
Yeah.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Okay, so we should probably be keep an eye on Togami then, considering you've been expressed to have an interest in him.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
Aw. It's cute, but it's terrible, but it's cute.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I mean, that's kind of cute in a way. She kills the men she has a crush on. I mean, take the murder thing out of it, and it's kind of cute. I mean, it's still terrible, but it's kind of cute.
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the movie side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
No.
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Slowly, her.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than you. Deal with it.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
Fair enough.
That does make some amount of sense.
Yeah, you would basically be painting a target on your back if you did that.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors.
Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
So...
Whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Hmm. Okay, so she just keeps scissors on herself.
She's fully equipped.
And also she's JoJo posing. That's awesome.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
You got
Go
a
ahead,
point.
tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you!
Well?
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. The rope's totally out of the question anyway.
Fair enough. Well, back to square one, I guess. Our one suspect has just been proven completely
I
wrong.
have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Pretty much, yeah.
The body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Oh. Wait. Considering the only person who, other person who seems to know about that is Sogami, and he was currently in the he's been hanging out in the library this whole time, so it has to be him.
Here's my answer. Yakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records.
Yeah, because he was been in the library this whole time, doing God knows what.
Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Seems like.
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
Oh, he really
Yes.
the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
And that's concerning.
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Yeah, you were a little too calm. In the locker rooms. They're suspicious, very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Suspicious. It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker
You
room.
wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary,
But you can't get in the
there's
girls' locker
something
room,
very
though.
strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. No element is meant to non-stop debate. Yes, absolutely. Now we're getting to add something called the truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the X button, then you'll memorize what that weak spot. The memorized face can only be shot at once in a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a ladder contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. What's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I say if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well, then good luck and have fun. Make your argument. Malcolm file number 2.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Nibirako's comment about Chihiro being a girl. I realize there's a clear contradiction there. It doesn't make sense how it could have known before we even found it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
But what? I think I know what it is. She's been acting weird.
To check out the girls' locker room.
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Alright.
Shoot!
Okay. Alright. Where's this contradiction, though?
You said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
But how do I...
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
do I have a...
You absolutely take it!
How do I... So what is he...
Natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was so of course I would suggest there was no time for what's so strange.
I wish you'd taken me with
Okay, let's think about this for a minute.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird.
Shoot!
Alright. Okay, I need to figure out what's going on with this. Hold on.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Loading, quick select, choose bullet flashback. If you trigger a weak spot and then hold down the X button. Okay, so what is it?
But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was...
No, it's wrong.
Alright. Okay.
I'll tell you what's so strange about
That's
that.
how it works.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it?
Okay.
Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with
You're
him.
not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Maybe, possibly. The difference between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya was responsible is hidden in there. What could it be? Oh, I know what it is! It's the rope! Library desk lamp.
The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange
We're not.
the bottom.
We're not.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away.
I know what it is. Hold on. Okay.
What? The difference between
I know what it is.
You want me to explain it when I want to kill? And I use those same scissors. But Chihiro, it was some kind of rope.
That's right. It absolutely. Then there must be.
Hey, Byakuya.
Where'd you...
Okay, I know what I'm
I've
doing.
seen that rope before in my life.
Oh, then that's not what I
Obviously,
wanted.
somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
All right, I know what I'm doing. Okay, hold on. I need to hit this statement, but I'm...
You want me to explain it again when I want to kill? And I use those same scissors. But Chihiro it was some kind of rope.
That's right. It absolutely. Then there must be something.
Hey, Byakuya. Where'd you
Get it from?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah, we know what it is because it's the extension cord from the
I'm
lamp.
pretty sure you have seen it before. Because you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya,
All right.
you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same
Yeah, he's using it for
extension
that
cord
lamp.
was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And
Yeah,
there's
point.
no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
That's a fair conclusion. Yeah, that sounds about right. He's doing it again. Totally calm, yet totally unconcerned. As if he's not involved.
What's
Wait,
wrong?
not even
I
involved.
asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Okay, so
We really
Makoto's
need
found
to.
something.
You've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Shiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said is the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. The scene of the crime.
You say
There's a couple of things
killed
off about the scene of the
Chihiro in
crime I
girls'
noticed.
Locker room, right? But are you sure
There's a
about
couple of
that?
things off about the crime, though.
Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been
No, because there's been several different strange things.
I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Bianca, did you just take your guard off? Did I just take you off guard? But the story suddenly moved to a crime scene, Bianca. Suddenly moved to the crime scene, Bianca, who had been so confident up until now. Maybe Bianca never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto.
Well,
If
it's
there's
like I
any
said.
chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Alright. Evidence that shows the murder place took somewhere else. There's something that switched between the boys and girls' locker rooms. Oh, yeah! Stain! The stain! No, first I have to prove the scenes were switched. The posters! That's it.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else.
Alright, we're getting our health
the
back.
poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jumpers
fair
are
point.
totally fake!
Well, okay then. That's...
Meanwhile,
I like her.
The
She's
boys'
fun.
locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really
That's
seem to
weird.
belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying
No, it
that
does
maybe
not.
the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
Yes.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. Alright, so now we know. So now we can actually present the thingamabob. Where is it? Where the hell? Where the hell? There it is.
The stain on the girls' locker room
Health
carpet
back.
wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly
And
follow
since there
the
was bloodstains on
reasoning,
both, it makes sense.
but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go
Well,
through
that
all
seems to be an
trouble
interesting point,
switching
too.
the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? Get into the locker room.
That's a good point,
You
but,
swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the
That's a
boys'
fair
locker
point.
room to begin with.
except we know Leon's
did
tablet
have a
went
way,
missing and is
but
now
I can
broken,
tell you
so...
what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really gotten in the boys' locker room somehow? Actually, I do know how he did. Make your argument.
Is it
You're all
really
getting handbook.
possible?
Yeah.
Could Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
No.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, that's not it.
No, I don't think
Let's read through all the statements and make sure we're right.
She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Well, it is broken, so he does have a point. Theoretically, if Chihiro was able to get a Leon's handbook, she could have gotten to the boys' locker room. But when we found Leon's handbook in the main hall, there's no doubt it was. In which case, can we really say she used it?
Could Chihiro really have...
I got it! She must have hacked her.
Oh.
Shoot!
And there goes my hearts. Okay. I know what I'm doing, though. So it's not that statement, it's the other one.
I got. She must have hacked her. She was the ultimate programmer. I'm sure that would have been.
No, I don't think that she used the thing that was in the main.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook.
She was the ultimate coach. I'm sure that would have been.
No, I don't think that she used the thing that was in
Wait, do we need a...
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Alright, so that should be... So that...
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her.
There we... No.
Shoot!
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten...
There's gotta be something here.
Hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it.
Okay, I'm missing something.
She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Alright, I need to figure out how to do what I'm doing. Theoretically, there's no doubt it was...
Is it really possible?
It was broken.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got. She must have hacked her. She was the ultimate coach. I'm sure that would have been.
No, I don't think that she used the thing that was in...
Huh? What the?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that,
She could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Alright. There's gotta be something I'm missing here. What am I doing?
I got. She must have hacked her. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have been.
no, I don't think that she used the thing that was...
Huh?
I'm talking about Leon. If she had that,
She could get into the boys' locker room
I
no
missed.
problem.
Okay.
Is it really possible?
No, but then why is the handbook broken?
I got. She must have hacked her. She was the ultimate coach. I'm sure that would have been.
Then why is it broken?
She used the thing that was...
Huh?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Alright, I need to hurry up and do this or I'm not gonna get it.
I got. She must have hacked her. She was the ultimate cook. I'm sure that would have been.
No, I don't... She used the thing that...
Huh? What the?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really
No, the fact that the handbook is broken.
She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have been.
Well, I don't think she used the thing that was. Huh? What then?
Talking about... Of course.
No, it's wrong.
No, it's broke because it's busted. Because it's busted to hell.
No,
Can't get into
I don't
that.
think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning the
Ish.
handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts glaring.
So, if she didn't
Ah,
use
well, that
Leon's
eliminates that
handbook,
possibility, I guess.
she didn't modify her own handbook.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have
I
gotten
don't
into the
think
boys'
so.
locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Well, okay then. Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya's the only one who did it.
Hold
Really?
on a second.
But still, I don't know what else I can do.
I agree with you, though.
Thank you,
I think you're
Kyoko.
on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well,
Wait,
to
isn't the
explain
pool
that,
connecting the two of them
Why
together?
don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you
break?
think you're doing?
Don't worry.
It
This will
requires
make the
evidence.
whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
All right.
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Where are we going? So before I even knew what was happening, the cross trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And wherever she took us was... Oh.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time. Be sure to examine the entire
us to
body
check it again?
very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
No way!
Huh.
It's probably
Of course.
best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped
That's a
out or
fair point.
anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl.
Okay. That's
You
fitting.
shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
Yeah, but she's a very manly girl. She'll be fine.
I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop
Okay.
screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief
Be
prayer,
sure to
Sakura then
check
began
her
to quietly
entire
examine the body.
And I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body.
Hmm.
I know you say that, but... What? This is...
What?
What is this...
What is it?
Not
Uh-oh.
possible. It's not possible.
Uh-oh. Let's not... Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
Is what?
Is a boy.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
He's too calm.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Ben, it's really true?
Chihiro was... guy?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh,
That's an
what,
interesting
you
turn of
guys didn't
events.
know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki
Well,
was
okay then.
totally a guy.
So, in other words, she was registered as a guy in her e-handbook. That's how she got in.
Crossdresser? Oh, I'm really on fire. I wish I had killed him. So that's what Kyoko wanted
Okay.
to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
All right, black to trial, I guess.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
That's fair. Let's do it.
Ahem.
That was
I
fun.
apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking
All right, now that we
revelation
know.
that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason
All right.
for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind. Yeah. I mean, trans people exist. That's a thing. Trans people are... I have a couple of friends that are trans, actually. I've met a couple of people that are trans, so I know that for a fact. But it's interesting. It is interesting here that actually winds up being an important plot point here.
And
I
because
kind of like
the
it.
victim was a man, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So you registered. That's why he didn't. That's why Chihiro didn't want to be. That's why Chihiro refused to go into the locker rooms.
So then,
He knew he was
there
going to
should
get
be
caught
no
if he
issue
did.
with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed
All
in
right,
the boys'
back on
locker
track
room,
then.
and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Since they're the only since Leon's are broken, but the others are
killed
not.
in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving
Yep.
the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Possibly because nobody knew Chihiro was a girl up until
Well,
that point. So
I must admit,
makes sense.
I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little
And he's at a loss for
off.
words.
There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
Okay.
So now
of course,
everything
Genocide Jack
has
is turned
been
on right now.
All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well...
Not
net
quite,
clear,
we still know who
clear,
killed who.
Whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
And otherwise, he's not concerned though.
World.
What
Yeah,
about you, Makoto?
Makoto's like that.
After everything we've learned,
Well, not
do you
Makoto,
still
but
think Byakuya's the
Tsugami.
killer?
Well,
No,
without a doubt,
the way he's
Byakuya
behaving
the
is
one that
completely
made
inconsistent with how
Chihiro's
a
death
killer would
look
behave.
Like Genocide Jack did it. But
It doesn't make
might
sense.
not actually be the killer after all.
What?
He's the only one who could have done it, but it doesn't make
You were the one
sense.
who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be
It's very
too
strange.
easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left
Most likely,
behind
yeah.
was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were
Well,
the
none of it
killer,
adds
that
up, yeah.
wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking,
And
huh?
yet it did.
Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as...
And now we're back to square one.
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across
Yay.
the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
To
Are you
frame Genocide
fucking
Jack
with
because you
us
thought
right
Genocide
now?
Jack was the culprit.
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
The fact that he censors himself is funny as hell.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
But Byakuya
I'm with
was saying
Makoto.
it's someone else,
If there's any
so...
doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we
Yeah, it's
all
very
die
strange.
here.
Yeah, and then the killer just gets to walk out the front door. I think. I'm not entirely sure if they can walk out the front door, given that it's all, you know, it's basically a vault door from Fallout. You can't get out that way, really.
I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do.
No.
What am I, an ant or
Nobody
something?
does.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Yep.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Stop calling it a game, goddammit! But if Byakuya did do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's only one thing we can sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer's a guy. The killer has to be a guy, that's the only explanation. Since the crime scene was by the boys' locker room, we would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that still is not enough. I need to find some more clues. Alright, time for a debate. Celeste
Isn't
account.
there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Clues are one thing, but... Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now
Oh, wait,
is some
Celeste.
new info.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Isn't
All
there
right,
a
so
single
we know that's
clue
not it.
that might lead us
As to who did well.
clues. Did nobody get a look? I'm sure someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
It's over. It's all. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
No, it's wrong.
Got it. Alright. Yeah, because Celeste saw the victim
I believe
at some
someone
point.
else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
What? Really?
Oh, but I
Yeah, in the
suppose
warehouse.
only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you
The
had
fact that
no
you mispronounce
idea,
his name.
did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag.
So that's and since
Anything like that at the murder scene?
It seems likely
No.
that the culprit
So where is
destroyed
it?
them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki
Okay, so
was
that
on
would
his way
mean-
to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to
Seems like-
exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Because he wasn't comfortable exercising with other girls. Or rather, with
Probably
girls in
he was
general,
afraid we'd
because
find
he's a
out
guy.
The secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Oh, what a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit,
it's-
right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
Okay.
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
A fair
You
point.
want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence
A fair
is
point.
already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say.
What are we talking about, though?
Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Shiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. But time for a non-stop debate, so here we go.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have
No
to
debating
ask,
there.
why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
He's right. What he just said now was really odd. How did he know something like that?
We know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask...
How do I get...
Why did he choose
How do I remove
the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the
Alright, so Mondo is the one who knew it.
No, it's wrong.
Alright.
Hold on a
Why would
second,
you know
Mondo.
about that, though?
What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When
You
Celeste
just mentioned that you
testified
got the
2
blue
minutes ago,
tracksuit.
She said... She never said anything about the jacket.
Alright, so...
So why did you say Chihiro's blue
No.
tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Yeah.
Hey, Celeste, what color was
Oh!
Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial...
There we go, we're on the track
did you
now.
tell anyone that?
The only one
I don't think anybody told anybody
who
that.
This was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
He shouldn't.
I'm sure he saw the clothes of
Fascinating.
in the investigation.
No, that can't be it.
No.
The bag and clothes were
the
surely
tracksuit's
disposed
missing.
of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
And once again, she's given another tip game.
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit
Yes.
or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
He stuffed it in the bag so nobody could have seen it.
when Celeste
Just like that,
noticed
she was
it,
gone. Okay.
Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
It would appear you've done
Ba
your
ba ba
own
ba.
Perhaps.
All right,
You
interesting.
handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kyoko's
Your
smart.
true intention
I'll give her that.
was
She's
to draw
smart.
a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew he did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why?
Fascinating.
What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he was acting, right? No, the way he talked. Because he said referred to Chihiro as a dude multiple times.
Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
She is smart. I'll give her that.
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you?
Seems like it.
Did you really?
Doesn't seem like there's any other option.
Chihiro?
I didn't kill
Is it kind
anyone.
of time for the bullet time battle already?
You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never
I
do
don't
something
know,
like that.
but
This
it's
is a false
fascinating.
accusation.
And of course Kyo was jumping on board because
My
he's his
reasoning
bro.
on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Alright, time for you to speak, Hifumi.
But I'm thinking about it here calmly. It might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence
Bring
just
it up,
get up and
though.
walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
That's a handbook.
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Found it on the ground, right? That must belong to... Has to be Chihiro's.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing.
There's
from
only-
the
that's
scene
the only
of crime,
explanation.
right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit
Fascinating.
to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
Yeah, but there's two of them. And we know Monokuma said they have a weakness.
right.
So we gotta
They're
figure out what
not.
that weakness is now.
They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely
Seems like...
did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks break? There's only one puzzle.
I got it!
By hitting its weak point.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that?
Yes, I remember that. I remember everything.
But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
Then we can only assume
means somebody figured it out.
figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
Yeah, because you're the only one who would actually know.
You want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy copy it, that would be very not good.
You've got a point there, little bear man, but I don't give a shit.
We want to break our own handbooks.
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
I mean, you can always slap out a regulation not to break the e-handbooks. That's not a big deal.
Special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
Fascinating. So the only weak point is that it overheats.
Because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
Well, then wait, I just figured it out. Hold on. So, is that actually Leon's handbook in the lobby then? Thinking about that. Obviously, since we also know that, I get the feeling I know what the next plot point is.
Somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting.
Okay, fascinating.
I learned one new fact today.
Wow. Yep, that's a fun little tidbit for those of you at home.
Trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit.
Yeah, but how did he figure that out?
Weakness.
And there's only 2 people who would know that weakness, because there's only 2 people who have ever been in the sauna at this point.
Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out
I know the solution.
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took someone into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
I do.
Whoa, seriously?
I think
Time
the one
for
who may
the
have
big
taken
expose.
their handbook into the sauna was...
Yep. You might have brought their handbook in the sauna. It had to be the one who wore all the clothes in the sauna. It was Mondo. It was Mondo. Mondo brought it into the sauna.
Mondo.
Because he's the only one who brought his clothes in the sauna.
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Because he's guilty, it seems.
Contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo
and I was
just
the
so
witness to
happened
that.
to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets.
So he had his handbook on him and he broke it by accident because he decided to wear all of his clothes in the sauna because he's a dumbass.
And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait.
And he doesn't have any refutable evidence for that.
Wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
Okay, so you're the one who I have to do the bullet time battle against, it seems. I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves to be beyond a shadow of a doubt. Brokeny handbook. Okay, so I got 3 bullet points here.
If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay, but there's gotta be some more explicit. Sure, Mondo's handbook broke during the Sonic showdown. If I could just prove that, then that will show that the handbook it might actually be.
Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
Well, it would work with the hand. Hold on.
Is actually broken. Then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's not it. Okay, fine. Alright. Okay.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he says is you broke your own handbook.
I get the idea. I got an idea.
Handbook is actually then that proves that what Makoto.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, it's wrong.
Alright. Yeah, because we know Leon's handbook isn't the thing, but it's been broken.
Right now. Is it really yours?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
That would make a bit more sense.
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own.
Yeah, nobody could tell the difference because I don't think it has his name on it.
Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the
Seems
handbook
like
Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the
That would
school
make
regulation
sense.
that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well,
No, because borrowing one is completely fine.
there is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit, but no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting.
Yeah, Monokuma's... I don't like the little bastard, but he's got a point. If they're dead, they're no longer a student at the Hope's Peak. As morbid as it is, he's got a
That
point.
exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, so so I do think I'm going to have to do the bullet
Why don't
time
we
battle
look
against
back on
Kyo.
this case one more time, from the beginning. That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright, but this is going to be interesting because I don't know... Closing arguments! Alright. Well... Okay, so that would be there. Okay, and that one has to be there. No, that doesn't, that's not there. Because no, because that would be it. That would be no. He would have peeled off the thing. Okay, I'm very lost in this. And, okay, we know this is here. Okay, so this is where Tsugami staged the murder, so this has to be here. Okay, that doesn't seem like it's right. Okay. Am I right? Hold on. I don't even know if I'm right here. I believe I'm mostly right. But there's gotta be something that I'm missing here. Okay, he had to have put up the poster here. So... yeah. I think I'm right with that one. But... alright, I think this part's right. I think this part's right. So yeah, he would peeled off the thing. No, because that doesn't make sense. Because he would have to go into the girls' locker room to get to. Okay, I think I'm piecing together what I need to do. And I think that's it. Yeah, because these might be out of order. Hold on.
Here's exactly
All
what
right,
happened.
and that seems to be the last piece. So let's hopefully,
First,
this
let's
is
take a
this is
look
what I need
back
to reenact
before
it.
the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste?
Yeah, it was a blue tracksuit.
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Alright.
Simple. Because
Perfect.
she was really a he. Which is why he was able to
Yeah.
use his own handbook
This is fun.
to gain entrance to the boys' locker room.
Perfection.
Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
Alright.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where
And
the
that caused the blood to
stains
splatter on the
and
poster.
carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the
Yeah, and
moment.
he realized what he'd done.
The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet.
Alright.
Then, removing the bloody poster.
Okay.
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the
All right.
locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer
And then he
did it.
placed the body and all the other things.
With the
And then
carpet
Bi-
the poster
and then
they brought with
Byakuya
them,
came in.
They got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker
And
room.
it looks like nothing
in what
happened.
you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the
Tagami
body
then
and
came in.
decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the
Alright.
crime. He wanted to
I got a
create
good
the
feeling I got it
illusion
right
that
this
Genocide
time.
Jack was responsible
I got a
for
good
the
feeling.
slaughter.
Which we know wasn't true. Okay. Alright, so there's something here that I'm missing. So this has to go here then.
The killer is you!
Reenact.
And around
Perfect,
the same
now we
time
got it.
that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they plan to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
Perfection! Seemingly.
Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Good closing argument.
Wait.
And he's got no argument against that.
Can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof.
And of course and now we get to the bullet time battle. Because he's in denial about the whole thing.
Any of this on him.
Evidence on Mondo as a killer. That already revealed itself early in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. New element has been added to true bullet time battles. Yes, please. Let's talk about more about fever time and nega time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the R button, fever time will activate. The tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push A button however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But there's only this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it won't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we've also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. To make it harder for me, thanks! If the opponent activates nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fear time at that point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent will use nega time. Well, then good luck and have fun. Alright, bullet time battle then.
Show me some evidence.
Alright, so what am I doing?
Wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False.
Okay, that's why they have a stamina gauge now.
Show me some evidence. Show me some evidence.
Alright.
This should prove it.
Alright. The broken handbook again.
Right? Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
Fascinating.
You gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it.
Alright.
I killed him.
He's confessing. Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of that. Results! Alright, I didn't do too well in some of these. That's alright. Total! It's a 977. That's... Okay, so I got points for that.
Bro!
That's where they came from.
I got no choice.
You killed the person! That's what he's
After
saying.
hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting. No holding on.
Oh. Okay, this is gonna get in. Of course, Kyo's gonna be the most upset because that was his bro, but
Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice?
Mondo!
Or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Alright, time to pick a person. Roll. Yep. Guilty! Alright. Well, now I'm curious to know what his motive was.
What?
If he has one. Uh-oh, this looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The black that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Owada!
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it.
Sorry.
There's no way he would kill someone.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? 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 Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a violent side, so allow me to explain on his behalf. The story of the Murray this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can just hit the B button to fast forward to the text. Funny little fourth wall joke. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness. And to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that is his way out, and it made it worse, didn't it? Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly wrapped he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Okay. Once the killing game had begun at the school, he had no choice but accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced that the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy. And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't really want to talk about it right now. But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right. I want to
Now's
change.
my chance. I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it. When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask someone for help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there.
Yeah, that's right.
And the person he went to... it was me. Yep, it sure was! The biker gang fellow had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro would probably figure that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was a very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help me give you some courage. So he went to so he went to ask Mondo to help him become strong. That's a typo. That was supposed to be in Monokuma's voice. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that. So then, that must have been why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room? Yes, that's exactly what I mean. So, he disguised the murder scene because he wanted to keep his promise to Chihiro. Fun! That's actually admirable a little bit. I mean, yeah, he killed Chihiro, but, in the end, he kept his promise, I guess. So it's kind of worked out, I guess. Not really, because we still found out the secret anyway. But he did his best to keep his promise and make sure nobody knew about it. So, yeah, I do kind of admire Mondo for that. Even though he did wind up killing Chihiro, he made sure to keep his promise, not her, his.
Certainly.
Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done? That could have been part of it, but I don't think that was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Yeah, that's a very good point there. But then Mondo did all of that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trust each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know. So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
Don't make me repeat.
It's impossible. How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, you obviously can. That's all there is to it. Oh, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? He embarrassed me that secret he didn't want anyone to know. You know what Mondo did? He killed his own bro. Okay, then. That's fascinating. That is why he didn't want anybody knowing. That's embarrassing. That's not embarrassing. That's just an outright dangerous, criminal thing. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join the gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother was named Daya Ogwata. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big bro, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone else knew it, had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peachy and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why... I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win. I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on that night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. Okay, so it was an accident. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, dashing into oncoming traffic. So, it was an accident. But suddenly... Also, laying in his kid brother's arms, the other brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. So sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Diane never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. That's sad. Also, I'm noting that the brother looks a little bit like Josuke Hikashikata from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He even has his stand name, Crazy Diamond, on the back of it. And obviously, Shine On You, Crazy Diamond is an actual thing. But that's a very deliberate reference, I think, to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Seems. He has a very similar haircut, and he has the name on his jacket. That's pretty obvious. Decided to hunt the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. I'm gonna keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Dai wasn't gonna lose to a kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. So he has a superiority complex to match Chihiro's inferiority one. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die at any instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked so hard to create would be destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it would all have been for nothing. So that's why I... Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and I started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety weighed down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me his secret.
I'm
Seriously?
sorry.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me all this all of a sudden? Huh? Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
I want to change.
You're right, but... I wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. It felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. So it was a heat-of-the-moment thing. Because the two of them because one had an inferiority complex and the other had a superiority complex rooted in similar problems. It caused the two of them to kind of blow up at each other. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us. So what? You're saying I should just say it? You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. And Mondo couldn't. It was the kind of strength I never had. So I was jealous of him.
What?
And that jealousy broke me. Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. No. Are you fucking with me right now? I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I feel like I could hear something starting to crack. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face? No, I just really admire you.
Yeah, that's right.
I admire your strength. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong.
You son of a bitch!
Stronger than you. I'm stronger than Daya. And then he snapped. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying on my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand. I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey. So he killed Chihiro because he was jealous of Chihiro and he just lost it. That's alright. Fun.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. But deep down, he's a big old softy. Since deep down, he's just as scared and as fragile as any other human being. So, yeah, he puts on a brave face, but, he ain't so tough when you actually strip away the layers. He's like an onion. Once you peel back the layers, there's nothing left. He's just a scared little baby. He hit that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. And now it's punishment time, isn't it? Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human being in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Did you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Yep. Go ahead, say that again, I dare you. Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want, is what I want to say, but... Unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. But punishing? Right, yeah, we got punishments left next. Execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished. Hold on. Yeah, and of course, Kyo is fully against it because Mondo's his best friend. They have a newfound bond, and that's about to go away forever.
Very special punishment.
All right, for Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader, because he didn't finish the statement for himself.
Let's get
wait.
We've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Alright, and now he's just gonna go accept his fate. Game over! Mondo has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Alright. Yay! This feels like it's gonna be terrible. Hi. Oh. I know exactly what we're doing. It's one of those steel bulb things. It's one of those steel cages. Cage of death. I know what we're doing. Oh, I see. Because there's nobody at the wheel, it's gonna crash. Where the hell is he? Oh. Gross! No! Oh, no! What What the hell? I knew that was... that was not at all what I was expecting. Laugh at death and your soul will be forever at peace. That was not what I was expecting, but okay. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Alright, but in any case, with that, we are now down to 8. Right? No. No. 10. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka sat screams invade our skulls, we were forced to realize once again. But he, of course, had to. Of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Byakuya? Yeah, shut up, man. Not the timer plays. You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Don't you realize that? Well, he isn't really in the business of making friends. To him, it's just another dead body.
Hey.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
However...
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that I just don't understand why.
What?
Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm and motionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual. So you ignored the nighttime rule, too. The rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it. Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. Well, night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mono coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't even have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. So, you're saying you know who the culprit was from the very beginning? Indeed, but if that had been the end of it, how boring would it have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have just the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up? Yeah, Byakuya, you suck! So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that. To create the fake murder scene. But damn, man, if you hadn't figured out who really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before I reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone I never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become blackened, I know who I'll have to watch out for. Well, and meaning you're going to kill someone on purpose? So that was your reason. Are you satisfied? Yes,
Hey.
We're done listening to your story. Moving on.
What's this?
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma. Oh, I'm up next? You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself. Huh? You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair. What do you mean? Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean? Mean. Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every stupid little thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as a victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship. Shut up, I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. So let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next.
In the name of
I'm going to find you and kill you, understand? In the name of the Togabe family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion. Oh, so cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Alright. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom and the curtains closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end, because we've still got... what? We've still got 4 more of these! So, we've still got a couple more of these to go. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear of despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of the courage, all of our efforts, all of our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying...
Alright.
This is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it.
So he's talking to the mastermind now, right?
Forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part.
Part of the group? So it's one of the students.
Remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see. As long as you don't want to know
one thing
my
I'd like to ask you.
Fire away!
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
So, who was he talking to? Chapter 2, Boy's Life of Despair is over. Fun. The end. Alright. 10 left. To be continued. Oh, boy. You seemed a crazy time and present. Alright. Time to shine on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. So, that was fun, I guess. So what happened there is seemingly... it seems like Mondo killed Chihiro in the heat of the moment, and we found out that Chihiro is in fact a boy. So, yeah, that was the main crux of the problem. But, and then there's the interesting thing with Genocide Jack, and, now Genocide Jack is a character in the story, I should mention. Genocide Jack is just kind of here, and he is also Toko, which is, I think that's gonna add an interesting dynamic, considering the fact that, it doesn't seem like Genocide Jack is interested in murdering anybody, or at the very least, isn't interested in murdering for that reason. Because obviously Genocide Jack is just kind of there. It seems like Genocide Jack was just included in the story as kind of a proxy. It's like, he has no choice but to be there. So, of course, he's just gonna be there regardless. But, I don't know, I'm interested to see what kind of story the rest of this is gonna play out. And also, the interesting thing at the end there about there being a 16th class member, I'm kind of fascinated to figure out who that might be. But, in any case, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, but we're gonna leave it here regardless, and I'm gonna maybe figure that out next time. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter in the description below. Be sure to check out my Patreon in the description below as well. It's only a couple bucks a month. It does really help me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks that are my way saying thanks. So be sure to check those out. The link is down in the description. And finally, if you want to see more content from me, there's actually multiple ways you can do that. First and foremost, you can check out the videos linked in the end screen. The top video is the most recent one, whereas the bottom video is based on what you've already seen. So if you want to try something new or see more of what you like, then be sure to check both of those videos out. And also, check out my Twitch. I stream every Sunday, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. Link is both down in the description and on the end screen. You can type in the URL in the search bar. But in any case, yeah. Regardless of whether or not you do any of all those things, thank you guys so much for watching. And so next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.